I think he's got a real shot at it today.
I was impressed at his qualifying because you go to a racetrack to race a car that you had never seen. That he may have seen it going around the track, but he never seen it up close and never sat in it and got his seats adjusted to fit him and all that. I mean, he had to do all that stuff when he got here today, I'm sure. But I think if there's anything good about that, Landon's got a lot of fans. He's got a lot of social media fans. And I think that might bring the whole race a little extra attention that a lot of these folks that don't know, say, Kitts Miller or one of those names. I know Jeremy Mayfield from TV, but that's going to give these folks someone to cheer for.
Oh, definitely. And, I mean, you look who he's driving for. He's driving for Bob Shack, Ark of Royalty. So seeing the Huffman name connected to the Shack name, I mean, history's in the making here tonight at Tri-County.
It really is, and I greatly appreciate Bob and Patty and you. I mean, now you're part of that family. You guys coming back up here again because I love the fact that we have a variety of stuff. Some of these racetracks you go to, you watch the same old cars run the same old race week after week. They don't never do anything to spice things up. At Tri-County, you got to admit, between the Cars Tour, the Smart Modifieds, the Grand National Super Series, you got a lot of different stuff to watch. And you don't watch the same movie every night. You don't want to watch the same race every night.
Well, the thing is, I've talked to guys like Eric Barber, like Donnie Doster, who Landon Huffman is filling in for tonight. They say that Tri-County is their home track. Kind of like, how my stuff, Short Track Report, this is our home track. Well, the Grand National Super Series sees this as their home track. So thrilled to be here in Granite Falls, North Carolina. Just an absolutely amazing track. And, I mean, you look back 3-4 years ago, this track may not even exist. But thanks to Shad and Shane Higgins, what they've done to this place. I mean, look at the infield. I mean, they're packed in like sardines. I had to watch every corner when I was walking down Pitt Road, so I made sure I wasn't going to get run over.
Yeah, we broke a record yesterday. We had over 50 cars practicing for a Friday. That's the most they've ever had. And then today we've got a record crowd here in the pits. We've got 10 different states represented, and that's basically on account of you guys. But 10 different states represented here tonight. That's incredible for a short track in the Blue Ridge Mountains to have folks that came from all over the country, like Connecticut and Pennsylvania and West Virginia, the Tri-County. That goes to show that this place, the renovation that, like you said, that the Higgins boys have done to this place and their team of folks and keep improving is bringing in the cream of the crop. That's for sure. All right, they'll make a couple parade laps here, let the guys warm up the engines and put a tad of heat. We need a pusher. We need a wrecker down here for Eric Barber. Barber's 83 car looks like it's dead in the water up here. You talk about dedication. I'm Facebook friends with Eric, and he. I remember a race here. It might have been last year, wasn't this year. And Eric came here, and he had was pulling his car with a U-Haul. And he blew the engine up in his tow truck somewhere up the road and got a U-Haul and pulled his race car here with a U-Haul truck to make sure he got here okay. But that's dedication right there. When you dedicate, a lot of people just went home and said, heck with it, I'll run the next race. But he wanted to come and run with us, and he made the trip down here. But looks like he may have some kind of an issue brewing on the 83. I hope they can get that thing going again.
Well, that's what this series is all about. 83, Eric Barber, the 62, Dave Hutchinson, number 1, Showtime Mike. Guys like this are guys like you and me. They have everyday jobs. They work 9 to 5. I mean, I was talking to Eric earlier today. He barely has money to even get tires. So this series is full of your grassroots short track racers, the grit and grind. Everybody in this field just knows and comes from the great short track roots.
Very true. Now, you got the history on Mike K, and I guess he's calling Mike K because can't pronounce his last name. Probably it's got 50 letters in it. But tell these folks about all the racing that this guy's done in his life. I mean, he's ran ARCA. He's ran all kind of stuff. You're the voice of this series. You know more about him than I do. Tell these folks about his racing history. And that's a winning car. We've seen the Amish Outlaw, Marlon Yoder, winning that car, and actually outrun Jeremy Mayfield to do it earlier this year.
Yeah, Showtime Mike is an absolutely amazing driver. He comes from the old ASA National Tour, multiple top tens in there, like you said, multiple ARCA starts. He's actually got a win here in the Grand National Super Series back at New River All-American Speedway. Trying to get that second career win. He's been very close many times this season, seeing if he can get it done. I talked to him earlier today. He is very, very confident. He said he wants to go out and win this first race. Second race doesn't really matter to him. He said he really wants to win this big first 50-lapper.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bit surprised to me to see him have a great run here tonight. You know, I really was impressed tonight that Marlon drove that car. The fact that he had never run one of these races, and he's used to running a street stock rather than a bigger, heavier car. But Marlon sure did a darn good job in it.
Yeah, and it just shows how good that car really is. Marlon changed a lot of the things in the setup of that car to make it accounted for here at Tri-County, trying to get it to connect to the track better, and Showtime Mike is definitely showing that. Starting on the pole here today, Jason Kitzmiller starting second. Though remember, the last time we were here, Kitzmiller swept both races against Jeremy Mayfield, A.J. Hendrickson, the entire field in the Grand National Super Series.
I put this on my Facebook page today. Jeremy's trying to win the championship. He's looking at the big picture, and this would be his first Grand National Super Series championship if he could do it. But he's kind of racing. He's kind of got to be a little bit of points racing. I know he wants to win the race, but he's got to be looking, like you said, at the big picture here tonight.
Yeah, and as we go side by side here, double file, I want you to look right now in the third row. That white car on the inside, you look at that zero, that is a tribute to Scott Bloomquist, an absolutely amazing gesture by A.J. Hendrickson. I wouldn't lie if I didn't say some tears swelled up in my eyes when I first saw that car. Just absolutely amazing gesture from A.J. Hendrickson and his ECC Motorsports team.
And what a day to do it. They had his memorial service at Eldora today. A huge crowd showed up for that thing, too. All right, out of turn number 4, the Easy Way Auto Sales pace car heads down pit road, and the green flag flies.
And Showtime Mike will get the advantage coming off of turn 2 over Jason Kitzmiller. Jeremy Mayfield right on Kitzmiller's bumper. Kitzmiller is going to take the high line. The high line is preferred here at Tri-County Speedways. We're almost side by side for the lead heading to the start-finish line.
Vintage cars, we need you now. Vintage cars, bring them down, line up and be ready. They're side by side in turns 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Showtime Mike down on the inside, but he can't hold off Kitzmiller.
Kitzmiller absolutely not giving that outside lane up, and he's going to make it work coming off of turn 2. Jason Kitzmiller, your new leader. Now Showtime Mike falls into the clutches of points leader Jeremy Mayfield. Showtime Mike trying to roll that inside, but like I said, as the track has aged after this new repave, the outside has become the preferred groove, and Jeremy Mayfield showing that to its full extent right now as he gets around Showtime Mike on the back straightaway.
Landon Huffman back in that third on 4 spot. Landon, I guarantee you right now, he's just trying to get used to that car. He's got 50 laps to race it. He made a dozen or so practice laps, a couple qualifying laps, so right now he's getting the feel of that thing, but he's steadily working his way forward.
Well, remember, we've got a competition caution coming on lap 20, so he's really going to use these first 20 laps as just sort of a test session, a practice session. Right when I say that, he's looking to the inside of Showtime Mike, not trying to waste any time with a number 1 machine. Showtime will try to hold him off on the outside, and he's going to do it right at the moment as we've already completed 6 laps here at Tri-County Speedway. He's going to make some contact with Showtime Mike. Man, I said he was going to use it as a test session. He's already trading fenders.
Yeah, a little contact there with Landon Huffman and Showtime Mike as they come together off of turn number 4. Huffman, he knows if he's going to go, he's got to go because he's got that zero car of Hendrickson behind him with a rear view mirror full of the zero.
You can throw 3rd, 4th, and 5th under a blanket right now with Showtime Mike trying his best to hold on to the podium 3rd position. As meanwhile, up front coming out of turn number 2, Jason Kitzmiller already put up a pretty good gap between him and Jeremy Mayfield as they hit the lap traffic of Will Lauterbach in the 3 and Dave Hutchinson in the 62.
They'll work by the 62 and the 3. Down the backstretch, Kitzmiller gets away from everybody. A-OK. Now Mayfield's going to work his way inside the 62 now. They got clear sailing for quite a while. No lap cars to contend with. But down the back straightaway, looks like Bob Shack may be in trouble. The 75 car slowing off turns 3 and 4. He's headed to pit road.
Yeah, coming down pit road now. He had just got that car how he wanted. First time that car has been on the track in quite a while, and sadly he's going to bring it to pit road. Not at all what Bob Shack wanted to see here at Tri-County.
11 laps of 50 in the record books. They're working on lap number 12. This time is Kitzmiller. And again, a competition caution coming very soon at lap number 20.
You know, as we look back at Landon Huffman coming out of turn 2 here, again, I want to touch on what he talked about. These cars, compared to the usual late model stocks that he drives, these things are like bricks. It's like driving a whole house. I mean, these things are all Hooters Pro Cup cars, K&N cars, Cup cars. I mean, it's like wheeling a big brick. You know, you got to use all of your muscle, all of your might to get these things around. And I'm telling you, by the end of this 50 lapper, it's only 50 laps, but he's going to be wore flat out.
Yeah, you know, you was talking about what Landon said. It's just kind of like, I don't care what kind of car it is. If you get in a different car, it's still got the same stuff. It's got a steering wheel, gas, and brakes and all. It just takes you a little time to get used to it. But you get in a little car and get in a heavy car, and there's a whole lot of difference.
Especially at a dynamic track like this. We've seen it, late model stocks in the Grand National Super Series cars, they kind of prefer the higher groove, but you look at a limited late model race, they kind of prefer the lower groove. So you're pretty much not only racing your competitors, you're racing this track too.
The race is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and this is a dandy. Off of turn number 2 is Huffman, the meat and the sandwich. But I'm going to tell you, I think the zero car is going to be a force to be reckoned with before the night's over. Maybe not even in this race, but the second 50-lap race. But I'm expecting a good run. He's got a lot on the line tonight, running with that Bloomquist number. He wants a good showing, you know that.
Well, again, with that paint scheme, like you said, there's no telling what's going to happen. You know he's going to be strong, though. Scott Bloomquist riding in the passenger seat with him.
19 complete this time by. All right, this is your competition caution. There is no accident. There's nothing happened. This is the competition caution that the Grand National Super Series does. Kind of let these guys catch their breath for a second.
I want you to take a look heading into turn number 1 right now, that number 53 of Lauren Butler. See, the driver standings, it's pretty much locked up for Jeremy Mayfield. He pretty much knows that by the end of the season, he's going to be the Grand National Super Series champion. But in owner standings, that number 53, Lauren Butler and Edlin Motorsports, are right on Jeremy Mayfield's tail, and this is not what the number 53 of Lauren Butler wanted to see heading into the night.
Yeah, heads up on pit road, 53 car, the issue, and that's not exactly, like you said, what she needed. At least it's under the competition caution, but I'm going to tell you, it looks to me like the engine in that baby may be cooked. A lot of smoke and steam coming out of the 53, and that is never, ever, ever a good sign.
This has pretty much been Lauren's horrible, pretty good, no bad day. They broke a pan-hard bar in practice. I mean, it's been quite an adventure all day for the number 53 Edlin Motorsports machine, and seeing that smoke coming out, they're just snake bitten. I mean, there's no other way around it.
Yeah, you gotta hate that for those folks, because made that long trip all the way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania down here. That's a long way. But one thing about it, They're not going to give up. They got another 50-lap race coming later. Maybe they can dissect it and figure out after this one's over what's going on and at least come back. And that's one thing I like about the twin races. Even if it's a late model race or a Grand National race or whatever, if you have bad luck in one, you still got another chance.
Exactly, and we know she is a very good perseverer. She's full of determination. She won the Howe Racing Enterprises Hard Charge Reward in the second twin 50-lapper last time we were out here at Tri-County Speedway. So I know without a doubt that Lauren Butler is going to get her machine back on the track, and she's going to get a good finish come race 2.
$20 laps down, 30 laps to go to settle this one. Again, Vintage Cars and Outlaws, you're next. Vintage Cars, we need you lined up, ready to rock and roll. Vintage Cars, you are next. Thanks to have these guys right here. We hope we don't need them, but always good to have them. The Caldwell County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, I don't think we'll need them in this race, but those other races, you never know.
Don't speak too early, I'm telling you. What looks calm may turn crazy in an instant.
The feeling deja vu here.
Line, green flag flies, and here we go.
Feeling deja vu here. Jason Kitzmiller, Jeremy Mayfield on the front row. Kitzmiller is going to clear out of turn number 2 as it is an absolute dogfight for third behind Showtime Mike and Landon Huffman.
Now, Kitzmiller better watch it because you know what Mayfield did to Earnhardt that year at Pocono up there, right?
He just rattled his cage a little bit.
Yeah, he rattled it all right. Turned it upside down. Old Dale wasn't too happy either.
Look at this battle for second place heading into turn number 1. Jeremy Mayfield, Showtime Mike. Heck, they might look to go 3 wide here heading out of turn number 2.
Boy, what a battle. Second, third, fourth, and fifth place. Put the 0 into the back of the caboose of this little gang right here. And you got us a good one. That Kitzmiller 97, that thing runs like a Singer sewing machine. He don't never miss a lick. That car is glued to the track. Both ends of the speedway, handling about as good as one of these big, heavy cars will handle.
And he's absolutely loving this right now. A second, third, and fourth go to town. He's just riding away from the field. But again, Jeremy Mayfield under fire like a pack of Russian racehorses on his rear end. Here comes Showtime Mike for second place.
Halfway sign this time by.
Landon Huffman now to the inside of Showtime Mike. I'm telling you, Landon Huffman used those first 20 lappers. Used those first 20 laps as a kind of a test session. He's ready to go now as he's right on the rear end of Showtime Mike. Landon Huffman will take over the second position. Showtime Mike going to try to give him a shot in the rear end, but it's not going to work. And here comes that Scott Bloomquist inspired number 0 machine of A.J. Hendrickson. As behind them, I don't know what happened after this restart, but Jeremy Mayfield is just sort of falling off of a cliff. Don't know if he's got some kind of mechanical issue. Maybe he's saving his car for the second race. Don't really know, but looks like he's just going to try to ride around in 5th at the moment.
It looks to me like Mayfield's car's picked up a terrible push. You see him run into turn. He can't keep it pulled down the inside. Watch it when he comes in up here. I think you'll maybe see what I'm talking about. See how high it runs. And he has to get out of it to get it turned back down. So the handling has definitely gone away on the 21, unfortunately. Oh, and Showtime Mike nearly lets it get away from him over in turn 2. He had her crossed up. A piece of heads-up driving by Hendrickson, or that could have been a 2-car crash over there.
This is absolutely amazing racing heading out of turn number 2. Going to catch the lap machine of Super Dave Hutchinson. Landon Huffman trying for all of his worth to hang on to second. We have 20 laps to go. I don't know if he has quite enough time to catch up to Jason Kitzmiller, but this is short track racing. Anything can happen and anything will happen.
19 laps to go to settle this one. Right now it's all 97. As Kitzmiller puts lap 32 in the record book. Vintage Cars and Outlaws, be there and be ready. Vintage Cars and Outlaws, be there and be ready, please. Vintage Cars and Outlaws, be there and be ready.
Just seems coming out of turn 4 here with every single lap that's run, that A.J. Henriksen machine starts to get better. Right on the tail end of Showtime Mike, looking to the inside of his quarter panel. Not going to quite make it work there as they catch up to some more lap traffic. Number 83 of Eric Barber and the 3 of Will Lauterbach. Happy to see those guys out here with us tonight at Tri-County. As Showtime Mike's going to push up just a little bit. Henriksen can't take advantage of it right then and there, but going to try his best to come out of turn 4 here. He's got kind of a run, but he's not going to be able to make it work. Henriksen still looking all over the racetrack to try to get around that number 1 machine. He's right up to his quarter panel, almost a little bit of contact. Close, but no cigar for the number 0 of Scott Bloomquist.
Landon Huffman holding on to second. You know, maybe if he can go back to the pits after this first 50-lapper and has a chance to sit down and talk to his pit crew and figure out some changes he might can throw at this thing, kind of like we talked about Yoder earlier, about kind of like he did on Showtime Mike's car. That thing might need a new spring here or softer spring there or whatever, but he may be a whole lot better in the second main event.
Oh, yeah, and he's going to get some more track time after this, too. He's going to get 75 whole laps in a late model stock, so that's surely going to help him as we enter final 10 laps to go here in the first twin 50-lapper. It's all Jason Kitzmiller up front, but again, coming out of turn number 2, the battle is between Showtime Mike and A.J. Henriksen for the 3rd position.
10 laps to go to settle it. 10 laps to go. About lap number 5.
You know, we were talking about it just off the mic here for a second. Jason Kitzmiller's son, Isaac Kitzmiller, he's a multi-time winner here in the Grand National Super Series presented by ECC. He'll be making his late model stock debut later on tonight at Tri-County. But you got to think, Jason Kitzmiller, phenomenal handful of weeks here for the number 97. He swept last time we were out, and it looks like he's going to be heading towards another victory here tonight. But you never know. Landon Huffman still kind of eating into that lead, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Five laps to go to settle it for Kitzmiller. Landon Huffman, Showtime Mike, Henriksen, and Jeremy Mayfield now back in the 5th position. Mayfield definitely needs to finish this race in the top 5 to hold on to that points lead. One more time around for Jason Kitzmiller. Maysville, West Virginia's Kitzmiller. Pretty much can coast home from here as well. Landon Huffman has gave it a heck of a run off turn number 4. Kitzmiller takes the win. Landon is second.
Third goes to Showtime Mike, AJ Henderson, and Jeremy Mayfield. Your top 5. So the points battle going to tighten up even closer as Mayfield and a 5th place finish is going to lose a few points. And every point counts. That's why he wanted to make sure that he had as good a run as he could hold on to. Carolina Vintage, be ready. Guys, I think they're saying we're only going to have time to interview the winner. We've got 10 races to run, 400 laps, and I think we're going to only have time to interview the winner. All right, the voice of the Grand National Super Series, Joshua Weatherman down and headed to victory lane. Let's see if he can get a word with Kitts Miller.
They did a redraw off the qualifier.
All right, Joshua, we're not. Hey, Chris, his mic's not picking up. Can you turn it up? I can't hear it.
Terry has a mic down there too.
Terry's not interviewing him.
Talk to you.
Joshua, say something over your mic, please. Well, evidently having some technical difficulties with that mic possibly not working. And a hello to all you folks watching us on the Grand National Super Series Facebook page.
She'll be back just a second.
All right, your starting lineup for tonight's vintage car main event. 20 laps in this one. Is going to be on the pole, driving a 0 from Maiden, North Carolina, Tom DeMarbles. Starting second in car number 47 from Conover, North Carolina, is Kevin Baumgardner. Driving car